Okay, good afternoon students. In continuation we will discuss the discovery of protons. Okay, protons discovered by using anode ray discharge tube by the Goldstein. Okay, here first Goldstein discussed. Okay, start this anode ray discharge tube and finally confirm by the Rutherford. That's why okay, protons discovered by with say Rutherford. And here, what is the anode ray discharge tube? Okay, the rays which are evolved from anode we call as anode rays. These are also called canal rays. These anode rays are also called as canal rays. Okay, how the Goldstein discovered the proton? We'll see the experiment. Okay, experiment. Here I am taking one glass tube. Okay, here one glass tube. This is the one glass tube and arrange the electrodes as it is. Okay, how electrons are discovered. Okay, this side here I am taking anode, not ion. Okay, Goldstein took anode. This side we took cathode. Anode. Okay, anode attract the anion. Anion means it carries positive charge. So it carries positive charge. Cathode attract the. Okay, here cathode attract the cation. It carries negative charge. Here will pass the nearly 10,000 volts. It is connected to galvanometer. Okay, and here we have the gas. And here discovery of protons depends on the nature of the gas. That means the gas should lose the negative charged particle. Then only it becomes positive. Okay, after passing the electricity, here also maintaining 10 to the power of -6 atmosphere pressure. After passing the electricity through anode and cathode, what happened? Okay, Goldstein observed some of the particles. Okay, some of the particles hit colored particles. Some of the colored particles. Okay, at the side of the cathode. Colored particles at the cathode, and these colored particles move in straight line. These colored particles move in straight line and hit this fluorescent material. This is the fluorescent material. Okay, this is appeared like a what we call appear like a radium. Okay, this is fluorescent material. Fluorescent material, it is prepared with the zinc sulfide. When charged particle attacks on this one, we observe the glow of that one. Glow of those particles, like this. Okay, what it indicates? Some of the particles moved from anode to cathode in straight line. Straight line means these are having charge. These are having charge and hit a fluorescent material and appear as a bright spots. And one side we observe the colored particles. Okay, the gas moving from here cathode to moving from anode to cathode. Now we observe that Goldstein observed colored particles, the movement of colored particle. The movement of colored particles, okay, moves from positive to negative. Towards the negative means these are having, the colored particles are having positive charge. The colored particles are having positive charge. Positive charge. Such rays are Okay, released from anode, so we called as anodic rays, or this is also called as canal rays. And here this moves slowly from anode to cathode. That means these are moving straight line, so these are having charge, and these are moving slowly. That means these have particular mass. These are having particular mass. Okay, the mass and these are having mass and charge. E by M ratio of proton is more maximum. Okay, it has highest E by M ratio, value compared to the electron. Why? Because it has more mass. The charge of an electron and proton both will be same. Electron charge negative, proton charge positive. But electron charge very less. Electrons are charged. Electrons are massless particles, very light particles, but not the protons. Okay, protons are having something mass, so they move slowly. That's why these are staying in nucleus. Okay, Rutherford atomic model. Okay, here E by M ratio value of proton is highest, electron is lowest. Remember this one. This is the one more question. The particle which has highest E by M value, which one? Proton. Why? It has more mass. The particle which has lowest E by M value, electron. Why? It has low mass. Okay, here finally these positive charged particles are absorbed. These confirmed positive charged particles by the Rutherford. That's why these protons discovered by Rutherford only. We confirmed that Rutherford only. And here, if you apply electric field, if you apply electric field, here electric field or magnetic field. Two sides, electric field or magnetic field. What happens? The straight movement of particles deflected. The movement of those particles deflected towards upside or towards downside. If you use electric field, the movement is upward side. If you use the magnetic field, the movement is downward side. We observe the deflection of here pathway of protons, under the electric field and magnetic field. These anodic rays or canal rays finally called protons. These are having positive charge. Mass and here charge also calculated by using different experiments. The mass of proton. The mass of proton is The mass of proton is 1.6004 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilograms. 6.004 and books 1.673 is there, 1.68 is there. 1.600, 1.6 is the common, leave it this one. 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilograms. Charge of proton. Proton has positive charge now, positive 1. Here 1.602 into plus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. The charge of proton, this one. This is about the charge of proton. Charge of proton and charge of electron both will be same. Here positive, there negative. The mass of proton and mass of neutron will be same. Just 6.6005. 1.6005 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilograms. Same, both are having same mass. Neutrons and protons are both are having same mass, but little bit neutron has more. Here instead of 4 we have the 5, like that. Okay, that is one of the exceptional, that means leave that negligible mass. Okay, this is about the just discovery of proton. And yesterday we discussed the discovery of an electron. Okay, initially this experiment, discovery of an electron, explained by J.J. Thomson. Okay, I want to introduce one name. Okay, the name given to the electron by Stoney. The charge, electrons are having negative charge. The charge given by Mulliken. He explained Mulliken oil drop method. By using this Mulliken oil drop method, he explained. Mulliken explained charge of an electron. Charge of an electron explained by Mulliken. Name given by Stoney. Okay, it is confirmed. Okay, discovered by J.J. Thomson. And discovery of an electron, initiated by Michael Faraday. This is about the anode ray discharge tube and charges of the mass of proton and charge of proton. Okay, then in continuation we will see the discovery of neutrons. Neutrons are chargeless particles. That means doesn't carry the charge. Neutrons are doesn't carry the charge, not having any type of charge. Okay, we'll see. Discovery of neutrons. Okay, here in 1900. After the 1900, nearly 1936, okay, James Chadwick discovered the neutrons. In 1936, James Chadwick discovered the neutrons. This discovered by accidentally. Okay, how these neutrons were discovered by the James Chadwick? Okay, here he took one beryllium nuclide. Here beryllium nuclide means it is an atomic species. Atomic number of beryllium is 4. Atomic mass of beryllium is 9. It is a, here I am writing beryllium nuclide. When the bombardment of beryllium nuclide with alpha particle, this we call alpha particle. Helium-24 we call as alpha particle. The bombardment of alpha particle on beryllium nuclide. Okay, it leads to emission of neutron, production of neutron. Okay, by this bombardment, okay, he got chargeless particles but having mass. Chargeless particles are produced. These chargeless particles are called neutrons. These chargeless particles are called neutrons. And here along with that neutron is over now. Here we got carbon 4 plus 2 6 and here 9 plus 4 13. 39 means 1 we finish 12. We'll get here carbon nuclei. We get carbon nuclei. The bombard, how neutrons are produced? The neutrons are produced by the bombardment of alpha particle on beryllium nuclide. Beryllium nuclide. Okay, this is one of the discovery of neutrons. And here, these are not having the charge, but have mass. Okay, here mass of this one, mass of neutron. Mass of neutron. Okay, here 1.60, 1.67 like that. 1.6, little bit more than proton. 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilograms. With the mass of proton, when we compare the both are having same mass, we mention like this. Mass of neutron having more than mass of proton. When we move into depth, mass of neutron is more than the mass of proton. Okay, here no charge. No charge. Okay, in 1900, neutrons were discovered. In 1800s, proton and electron were discovered. Okay, this is about the discovery of neutrons, discovery of protons and discovery of electrons. Okay, then in continuation, we'll see the atomic models. Atomic models. So many atomic models are introduced for the explaining the structure of an atom. Okay, here in continuation we'll see the one of the first and famous simple atomic model is liquid drop model. Liquid drop model. Second one, okay, J.J. Thomson's model. J.J. Thomson's atomic model. J.J. Thomson's atomic model. Next, third one, Rutherford atomic model. Rutherford atomic model. Next, after Rutherford, Bohr's atomic model. Okay, and de Broglie's atomic model is there. De Broglie's. This is also one of the important one. De Broglie's theory and Schrödinger theory. Okay, theory. It also explains about the structure of an atom. What is the main aim of atomic model? The main aim of atomic model is it tried to explain the structure of an atom. Atom consists of electrons, protons and neutrons. Already we know about that. Okay, all these models explains about the properties of those electrons, protons and neutrons and the atom. We'll see in continuation. Okay, what is the liquid drop model? What is the J.J. Thomson model? What is the Rutherford model? What is the Bohr's model? Okay, we'll see in continuation de Broglie's model, simply we called, and Schrödinger model, like that. Okay, next in continuation, I want to move into the liquid drop model. Today I will finish J.J. Thomson model and liquid drop model. Liquid drop model. Okay, just keep here Okay, just I am keeping water drop here. Okay, here I put the. Okay, here I am putting. Okay, just if you put the one water drop on table, what happens? Suppose for example, if you keep like this water drop, that water drop elaborate. That water drop completely elaborate. Where we put the water drop, that water drop here, this is the center of the water drop. This center of the water drop we call as nucleus. But now we called, okay, here in liquid drop model doesn't explain. Okay, this area where the elaborate the water drop, that area we call as mass of atom. Mass of atom. Okay, like that, okay, liquid drop model explained. But most of the scientists not accepted this one. Okay, not accepted this one. So, it failed to explain proton, failed to explain structure of arrangement of electrons, arrangement of protons, arrangement of neutrons. Actually, we don't have the neutrons at that time. Okay, this is the first model. It is failed. After that, with one conclusion, J.J. Thomson introduced J.J. Thomson atomic model. J.J. Thomson atomic model. J.J. Thomson tried to explain the structure of atom by using this J.J. Thomson's atomic model. Okay, what are the important points? Important points in J.J. Thomson's atomic model. First point, important point. According to the J.J. Thomson model, all atoms are spherical in shape. Spherical in shape. Okay, second important point. Spherical in shape is like this. Spherical in shape. And having atomic value nearly 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. And having the atomic value spherical in shape and having nearly 10 to the power of minus 10 meters atomic value. And second important point. Okay, the mass of an atom distributed, okay, the mass of an atom distributed throughout the spherical. Throughout the spherical. Okay, throughout the spherical. This is the second important point. And third important point. Okay, here the electrons for the what we call for the electrostatic forces, for the maintaining the electrostatic forces. Okay, mass means it contains proton. Proton distributed throughout the protons, that means mass distributed throughout an atom. But here for the controlling the electrostatic forces, electrons are also occupies. Electrons are also occupies at different places. Electrons are occupies like this. Electrons were occupied around the spherical for the controlling the electrostatic forces between proton and electrons. Okay, just electrons. Just this is observed like watermelon. See, watermelon spherical in shape. The red colors, okay, red color sponge material completely distributed. Red color material we called, according to this J.J. Thomson, we called mass. The seeds of watermelon. Okay, here for example, backside white color is there, that is considered red color. These are the seeds. These seeds are absorbed like electrons. Spherical in shape. The red color is the mass. The seeds are distributed throughout that watermelon. That's why this is called watermelon model. Watermelon model. This is also called palm pudding model. Palm pudding model. And palm resin model. These are the different names of here J.J. Thomson's atomic model. What are the important points? According to the J.J. Thomson. Here all atoms are present in a spherical in shape. Second one, the mass of the an atom distributed throughout the spherical. And here volume of atom is nearly 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. Electrons distributed throughout the spherical for controlling, for preventing electrostatic forces between positive charge and negative charge. It appeared like a watermelon. Red color material is considered as a mass. Seeds are considered as an electrons. That's why it is called watermelon model. This is also called palm pudding model. Palm resin model. Palm, here resin model. These are the important points of J.J. Thomson's atomic model. And what is the liquid rock model? Then see the disadvantages of. This is the important question. This is the compulsory question for 3 marks in PU. Disadvantages of. It doesn't explains position of neutrons. Not neutrons, neutrality of atom. That nothing but nowadays we call it neutrons. It fails to explain or doesn't explain neutrality of an atom or neutron position of neutrons. And here it fails to explain position of proton and position of electrons. That means position of positive charge and position of negative charge. Positive charge and negative charge. Nowadays we call electrons and protons. These are the important 2 disadvantages of J.J. Thomson atomic model. By these disadvantages, Goldstein tried to explain the one more atomic model by using gold foil experiment. Gold foil experiment. We'll see in continuation what is the Goldstein gold foil experiment, and after that Goldstein gold foil experiment, Rutherford also gave some conclusions based on that gold foil experiment. That also leads to the explanation of the Rutherford's atomic model. It is the best and successful atomic model, first successful atomic model in chemistry of atoms. In continuation, we'll see the Rutherford atomic model, Bohr's atomic model. We'll see all those. Those are the very, very important. After that, we'll see what is the atomic number, how to represent an atom. Who introduced atom? Who introduced that representation of an atom? We'll see in continuation. Thank you.